The Hitler Youth was first announced by the Nazi Party on March 8, 1922 in the Nazi Party's National Observer newspaper. It was called the Youth Federation of the Nazi Party, later renamed the Greater German Youth Movement in April 1924. Then again in July of 1926, where its name was settled as the Hitler Youth. The German youth were an important part of Germany's assault division called the SA. The main jobs of these youth were to provide protection for Nazi rallies and assemblies, as well as intimidate the Jewish people in any ways possible, mostly by destroying and boycotting Jewish-owned businesses. By 1930, the Hitler Youth had recruited more than 25,000 boys aged 14 to 18. Hitler viewed the Hitler Youth as the Aryan Supermen of Germany. The young people of Germany were motivated to become faithful soldiers of the Third Reich. Many of the activities performed by the Hitler Youth strongly resembled military training, as they were trained how to use weapons and learned basic military tactics.
Erziehung der Hitlerjugend wird wohl die Schießausbildung die wichtigste sein. Hier Hitlerjugend hat als Gewehr das Kleinkalibergewehr, das deutsche Sportmodell. Dieses Kleinkalibergewehr setzt sich aus folgenden Hauptteilen zusammen.
There was much cruelty between the Hitler Youth and the younger division of boys named the German Youth. This cruelty was encouraged since it was thought that it would weed out the weak and harden the strong, an ideal very strongly supported by Hitler. Being involved in the Hitler Youth was important for future members of the elite German force known as the SS. Adult youth leaders would hold gatherings once a week to practice field exercises and the sort. The largest gathering would be for the annual Nazi Party rally. Training academies were set up for the devoted Hitler Youth, where they would learn to become great leaders. The youth were organized into divisions called bands, each consisting of 3,600 youth or more. There were over 300 bands in Germany, totaling about 4 million of Germany's youth aged 10 to 18. The Hitler Youth had specialized units for different types of military service like aviation, motor vehicles, navy, and leader youth. The uniforms were very similar to the SA, having a similar ranking system and the same insignia. The general uniform of the Hitler boys was consisted of a brown shirt, which were in large supply after World War I, and black short pants. Female bands had a uniform consisting of a dark blue skirt, a white blouse, a black neckerchief, and a brown jacket for the cold winter days. At the age of 10, German girls joined the League of Young Girls, then at 14 transferred to the League of German Girls. These girls had to be able to run 60 meters in 14 seconds, complete a 2-hour march on varying terrain, swim 100 meters non-stop, and know how to make a bed. In 1940, Ardis Axmann gained control of the Hitler Youth from the original leader Baldur von Schirach. He changed the youth into a force that could perform warlike duties like aiding in the recovery efforts due to Allied bombings, join German fire crews, and help with the anti-aircraft crews. By 1943, Germany began to lose much of its manpower. The leaders of the youth decided to make the youth into a reserve for the German army. This is also the time when the 12th SS Panzer Division Hitler Youth was formed. This division was made up of mostly boys recruited from the Hitler Youth aged 16 to 18 and was first seen in combat versus the Canadian and British forces during the Battle of Normandy. It gained great infamy due to its ferocity and dedication. As Germany continued to escalate in number of casualties, they became desperate and recruited boys ever younger and younger. By 1945, the boys were being recruited by the age of 12. They were one of the last lines of defense for Germany and were mowed down by the Russian forces. Only 2 known boys survived of the 12th Panzer Division.